Grab something to eat and a drink. If you need a chair, come find a chair. If you want to stand, stand. And we will get started with our presentation. Everybody move this way for me.
You want to sit down? I'm going to go sit over there, okay?
Well, welcome everybody. Did you enjoy your tour tonight? Oh, y'all need to be a little bit more enthusiastic than that. Did you enjoy your tour tonight? Yeah! If you cannot see me, I need you to come closer. So Matt Sermons, all of you in the back, if y'all will push forward for me. If you can't see me, I need you to come and see me. My name is Alex Perry. I'm really excited and have the honor to be the Director of Development for ESP. And I officially get to say to you, welcome to Home Sweet Rome, right? We're really grateful that you've all made the choice to be with us tonight for this invitation-only preview of what we are dreaming for this community, your community. So to get us started tonight, I wanted to say a couple thank yous. The first thank you I want to recognize is if you're a member of our champion board here in Rome, would you please wave your hand so we can say thank you for your community leadership. Thank you to the champion board. Appreciate all you do. Next, if you are a member of our campaign committee, if you're a member of the newly established, launching tonight, ESP Rome campaign committee, would you raise your hand so we can say thank you to you? Thank you so much for being here. And then lastly, I do want to say a big shout out to our three co-chairs for the campaign, Mr. Bob Berry, Jimmy Smith, and Lynn Dempsey. Where are you three tonight? Raise your hand if you're still in here somewhere. There you are, back there. There we go, thank you. Well, to get us started, we have a special guest with us tonight, all the way from the greatest college town in America, in my opinion. Sorry for those of you that are Auburn fans. But we have the legendary Miss Barbara Dooley with us tonight in the house. Barbara, would you come up and say a few words and say hello to the crowd? Would you give it up for Barbara Dooley? We're really grateful you're with us tonight.
I'm glad to be with you. I love leaving Athens, and then I love going back to Athens. This is such a wonderful, wonderful thing that Laura Whitaker and the team is doing up here. She did one in Athens, and it is fabulous. And I'll tell you, our grandson was born with cerebral palsy, and Matthew is now 26. The only thing that works in his body is his mouth. He never shuts up. But he can't walk, he can't feed himself. He has been tied to a wheelchair since birth. And when ESP came to be, he was a new person. He had friends that were just like him. He could do things that others could do. In fact, to show you how good God is, nothing is an accident. He was working for Laura after he graduated, and his first clients to show around were the Dempseys from Rome, Georgia. Can you believe that? And now Matthew is working at Wellstar Hospital in Atlanta. They have put a wagon on his wheelchair, and he takes specimens from one office to another office. And he thinks he's the most important person at Wellstar. And he might well be. So ESP gives these kids an opportunity to be whole. And we don't understand that unless we're not whole. And Laura developed a parachuting program to raise money. And so Matthew came to Vince and said, "Pop, will you parachute with me?" And Vince said, "Hell no." He says, "Pop, if you'll do it, I'll do it." And so Vincent gave in, and they jumped that day together. And when Matthew landed, I was standing there to see his face, and I said, "Matthew, how was it?" He said, "I felt normal for the first time." Let me tell you, folks, do you know how good it is to feel normal?
Amen.
It is isn't it good? Amen. Yeah, amen. And so that's why we're here. We want these kids to have the same opportunities that other kids have. And I want to thank you for coming. You've got the best right here with Laura. And I'll tell you, she's going to have a 5-star ESP up here. Laura.
Let's give it up for Barbara. We have an amazing team here in Rome that continues to grow, and we are definitely dreaming big. But that dream, as Barbara shared, started back in 2019 when her grandson toured the Dempseys around the ESP building. And they said, we're either moving to Athens or we're going to start something of our own here in Rome. So I'm going to pass it over to Gaines with how we've gotten here.
Thank y'all. This is very humbling to see the community get behind Cordell. ESP was something that is, it just seemed like a dream. Our experience as a parent we've got 3 girls. Our oldest has a disability, and our experience when she was, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, it started getting lonely. It was kind of isolating. And when we found ESP, when we walked in, it was a building similar bones to this, but they had just finished a giant building. And it was the most comforting place I've ever been in. I just felt welcomed. And I see that happening in Rome. We had big hoops a couple days ago. It was a fascinating thing to see the community get behind it. Like, sold out the gym to see a not great basketball game, but it was awesome. And getting to know everybody that's a participant. Would y'all raise your hands right here? Yeah. These are awesome human beings, and they deserve so much, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And also, I will say, the other side of this program, the volunteers. We have met so many sharp and amazing young people that are volunteering, and they're changing the community. Sorry. Thank y'all.
So as Dane said, ESP is for the participant and their family, but that ripple continues, sometimes within a family unit and sometimes with our volunteers, and many of you have experienced that. I think we have the sermons coming up to share a little bit about their family and how they've been impacted. So come on up to the sermons. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm Matt Sermons, my wife Gwen. We've got 3 beautiful children. 2 boys are in college, Knox and Walker. And our daughter Ivy is a participant at ESP. She is deafblind. She has epilepsy and a lot of other medical conditions that are pretty challenging, and she's confined to a wheelchair. Children like her, a lot of times, they don't get invited to birthday parties. They don't get invited to stayovers. They don't get invited to after-school play dates. They don't get invited to football programs or any sports teams. And so they get isolated a lot of times. After high school, they don't have a whole lot to do. They get confined at home, and they're not part of the community. So what Laura Whitaker and staff at ESP has done is broken down all those barriers, and it is phenomenal. Our daughter gets so excited by ESP. The other week, when we took her to Big Hoops, we're getting out of the car, we're putting her in the wheelchair, and thank gosh Gwen was standing in front of her. When she heard the music, she lunged before we could buckle her in. She was so excited, and she knows it's ESP. She heard the music. And she comes home, she is in the best mood, she's happy. A lot of times she's exhausted because she has such a good time. She has friends, she loves everybody, whether it's a participant or volunteer or staff member. She has a whole new life because of ESP. It is phenomenal to us as a family, and what it does to bring us joy and happiness is, I can't describe it, it's immeasurable. What we're hoping is that happiness that we get to experience, that when I say this community, it's not just Rome, Calhoun, Somerville, Cedartown, Cartersville, because when they say Athens, it's actually in Winder. It's not actually in Athens. It's about 20 minutes, but all those people go and they call it Athens because it serves a big community, just like this facility can serve a big community. And we're hoping to give that happiness to others because it is something that is truly measurable.
I'm just going to pick up from where Matt's leaving off and kind of focusing on our family. Not only has it changed Ivy, it has changed our whole family. So, Ivy has 2 brothers. They're in college now, but it has opened a door for them, even their siblings, and it doesn't matter what age. They also are welcomed, and it is a place where our family it's normalcy, and it's inclusion, and it's acceptance, and it has given them some chances to be with other people who have some of the same life experiences. But the one thing I want to say about this building, it's a building, it has great bones, but it will be a home for some of these kids and adults. It'll be home for our family. It'll be home when our boys come home. It'll be home where we get to come with other families and those in the community who want to be part of their lives, because a lot of times with disabilities, you have to come to them. And this will allow that. The great thing, like I said, is bones, but the accessibility isn't there yet, so that's one of the things that we're gonna be working on. Like right now, it needs an elevator. Ivy does use a wheelchair. She cannot get to this upstairs track. She, in all just transparency, is diapered. She will be 18 next week, so she doesn't fit on the little table in the restrooms. There will be changing tables. I normally have to go in a restroom and lay her on the floor. So that, for us, having a home where we can be just ourselves, is great. And last thing I want to say is last week, Alex was at our house, and like ESP has been great for us for the past couple of years, but Alex said something to send in my home that it was when you found your people. He said, because we were talking about a gym, he said, wouldn't it be great if everyone started with the accessibility portion for the person who has the hardest time getting in and going from there instead of the ones that can just walk in? And I'm kind of paraphrasing that, but I, at that moment, wanted to just jump up and put my legs around him and hug him, but I did not. But these are our people, and hopefully you will become our people if you're not already, and bring more in. So.
Antoine's got a tissue for you. Well, thank you, Sermons and Dempsey's, for sharing. If you didn't hear, we have over 59 campers signed up for camp this summer. We are currently serving 114 families like the Sermons and the Dempseys in this community, and there are over 2,000 families that we could serve. I don't think many of us know what it's like to not have a home. And if you ask the ESP staff in Rome, they probably could tell you they understand. We've been doing our best with the church rental that we have for ESP, but they could probably say, where's our ESP staff? Raise your hand. Our ESP Rome staff. Can we give it up for our ESP Rome staff? Jill, we see you back there. They are working with what we have, and we are so very thankful for that. But I want you to close your eyes for me for just a second. And when I think about home, I think about comfort. I think about having everything that I need. And I think about the open arms of the people that I love. And I want you to imagine driving up to 1818 Kingston Road, and you see a bunch of open arms and a parking lot parade. And your child gets out of the car and into their wheelchair, and they are rolled in as their name is cheered, Ivy, Ivy, K, K. And you walk in behind them as they are wide open, happy and smiling with open arms ready to embrace them. And as they come into the building with their buddy, you see a giant tree in the foyer. And why spend the money on a tree? Well, this faux tree is a representation of growth and fun, and a proverb that says that a hope deferred makes a heart sick, but a hope fulfilled is the tree of life. And ESP is a hope fulfilled for so many people. And then you walk in to a crowd full of people that are playing and dancing and singing, and you notice a changing table for Ivy and the individuals that need it. And diapers and wipes and gloves. And you as a parent get to look at your human and know exactly who they're gonna be with, where they're gonna be, where their backpack is gonna go, which activity they're gonna be with, the basketball court, and then the playground with the slide that they get to go down because it's universally accessible and created for them. And then you see an 18-year-old who just graduated from high school, pushing the wheelchair of your child, smiling and learning about what life is all about community and leadership and love. And then you look to the playground and you see a little 2-year-old who says they can't wait to go to ESP and play on the playground. And you see them playing alongside little Noah, a 2.5-year-old with Down syndrome. And they are learning in that moment that Noah is no different than they are. And they will continue to include Noah at school and at the grocery store and at the other playgrounds around because they have learned that Noah isn't scary. He's just a kid just like them. And they grow up learning about this place called ESP. You can open up your eyes. That is home sweet home. And this is just a building. It's just a shell right now, as was shared. This is not the building we're going to move into, and we refuse to move into it until we can create that home for the families that are here and the families that are waiting. A place that feels like home and comfort, a place that has the resources that every family with a disability needs, a place where a little 2-year-old can play on a playground, a place where an 18-year-old can learn about love, and a place that feels like home and like ESP. And that is what you all are hearing about, the first in our community here in Rome tonight. It's about people, it's about the place, and it's about the purpose that we will create here in Rome. And the truth is, we're not quite sure how we're gonna do it. We have a big plan. Someone once told to me, make no small plans. Do small things with big love, and they end up being the big things later on. So transparently, we don't know how we're gonna raise the money. We do know that this is the right thing and this is the right place. I'll never forget walking in this building for the very first time and seeing ESP Athens in this building. If you come to ESP Athens, you will see the same footprint that we have here. We just need to ESP-ify it a little bit. So how are we gonna raise $10 million? I don't know. We paid 1.5 for this building. We need about 5 more to renovate it and make it ESP and the playground and the ball field. I'm not quite sure, but I do know one thing, is that you are here for a reason. And it may be to put on a really great tour like our ESP friends did tonight. It may be to serve on the board. It may be to tell a friend who can make a difference. I'm not sure why you're here tonight, but I do know that you are here for a reason. And I do know that a year from now or 2 years from now, you're going to come to our ribbon cutting and you're going to say, I remember when it looked like this, and now it feels like home. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of our journey. Continue to pray, continue to talk about it. There are unlimited resources out there. God is good and he's faithful and he always has been to ESP. We know there is a way and we believe this is the right thing and it's going to feel like home one day. So I'm going to pass it over to Alex to conclude for the evening.
Give it up for Laura. So my only ask of you tonight is, we're not asking you for money. Shocker, right? You didn't come tonight ready to give. You came ready with an open mind and an open heart. And so my ask of all of you tonight is, in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, when an ESP staff member or a community friend of yours asks you for a meeting, would you just say yes to the meeting? Would you just open your mind and your hearts to learn more about ways that you and your family can make this dream come true? We don't believe in one-size-fits-all fundraising at ESP. We believe in an intentional, individualized approach to learning how you and your family can make a meaningful gift and a meaningful contribution to what we are creating together. So that's our ask of you tonight. Take one of these case documents that you were given when you came in the door to the gym. We have 40 years of history at ESP, and we know what is possible. But we are asking you to dream with us and to plant seeds here in Rome for what is possible. And we don't know how we're going to raise that money, but we hope that many of you in this room will help us do that. So thank you for your time today. Thank you for believing in what we're doing and being interested in how we can change your community for the better. Have a good night. Thank you for coming.
Did you put it all on film?